Don't think about making macarons until you watch this video. I'm sharing all my secret techniques to make macaron shells. First, throw away your recipes. All you need are these ratios. People are always like, can I substitute the castor sugar for fine sugar or the superfine almond flour for regular ground almond? No, you can't. If you do, you deserve the lumpy shell. Sift your dry ingredients once, then move on to making the meringue. Then you add castor sugar in 3 parts. First, when the mixture is a little foamy. Second is when it starts to become a tight foam like beer. Last is when the mixture gets a little slimy, like that one guy we all know. After which you slowly crank up the speed. I end up whipping mine at speed 8 for good luck. You'll need them when making macarons. Meringue is very masochistic. It loves to be whipped, so keep whipping and it'll become strong and thick. I look out for these lines in the meringue when you tap the whisk against the bowl. They should be distinct and separated, like the green one. Now we have a strong independent meringue. We'll sift our dry ingredients into it. You can skip the first sift if you're brave and just do it once here, but personally I always topple over my sift into the meringue and get our lumpy shell. Moving on to the macaronage, instead of breaking your arm doing it by hand, I let the mixer do the first half for me. Once it's just roughly incorporated, you can switch over to using your hand. In terms of technique, you want to violently get the air out of the batter, not fold it gently. I do this by smearing it against the side of the bowl, getting it rubbed together and doing that again. People say to stop folding when it flows continuously like lava, but you have to stop one fold before then. That's because you're still working the batter when you transfer it into the piping bag. So how to find this sweet spot? I would say it's when you pull up the spatula and the batter flows but breaks off right at the end. Then I use a piping tip 12 to pipe the circle. And honestly, you can pipe them any way you want, there's no difference. If the batter was made correctly, it'll hold up on the mat regardless of how you pipe it. Next, we get rid of air bubbles by tapping the mat against the counter and popping them with a toothpick. Okay, then we dry the shells, and I use the oven to do this, but you can also put it in a dry room until it's matte and doesn't stick to your fingers when you touch it. Then you bake it, and this will depend on your oven, so I really can't tell you the answer here. I do 150 degrees Celsius for 27 minutes, but it will differ for you. After baking, it's essential that you do a crack test, checking them out, and then match make all of them by finding 2 shells that are of equal size.